Hi friends, how are you? Come on in and join me in the craft room. Welcome, this is Revive DIY and Upcycle Designs. My name is Susan. I'm so glad you're here with me in the craft room. I am going to use this, this is 8x10 stretch canvas from the Dollar Tree for our project tonight. I want to start with some patriotic stuff. As you can see, I am sporting some patriotic gear. I'm ready to get started with a little bit of patriotic. You guys, I've barely done anything patriotic this year, right? You see that right above me? I've got that little guy. I've got a couple other little pieces, but I don't have a lot going on patriotic wise. And you guys, is it a week? It's a week from Wednesday, right? It's 4th of July, so we need to get going. I've got a couple things I want to show you with you. But I thought it would be super fun to use this month's club transfer, the June club transfer, that's only available until June the 30th. It would be fun to use it with a patriotic flair. So that's what we're going to do. So this is the transfer we're using. That's the June one. I think I'm either going to try to use the bicycle. Now, I could have gone with a bigger frame. You know, this is 8x10 and our transfers are like 8.5 by 11. For the club transfers, but I didn't want a lot of open space, so I think we're just going to try to see what we can get to fit on here. That's what we're going to do. All right, now what I'm going to do first, I like to, when I am using a canvas, guys, don't forget to sprinkle the video out too if you don't mind. That just means to share the love, send it to a friend. I would love it if you guys would do that for me. All right, I don't know. I'm afraid to use this one because it's got stuff on it. I don't want to get anything on my white canvas. But what I like to do when I use, oh guys, let me find it. I have all my little, sanding blocks down here. When I am using a piece of canvas, I like to sand it just a little bit. I'm sorry if you don't like that sound. Sand it just a little bit to smooth it out a little bit because, canvas is kind of almost like a woven material when you get a stretch canvas like this. So I am going to just real lightly sand it just to help smooth it out some because we definitely want a nice smooth surface. Now, the other thing we're going to do with this first is I'm going to take a couple of my chalk paste and I'm going to turn them into like a really, really light watercolor paint for my background. Okay, so that's the plan and that's what we're going to do. Let me get something to put under this just in case I get a little overzealous with the paint so I don't mess up my thing. So I am going to spray a little bit of water on here because I want to kind of do a watercolory kind of effect. So I'm just going to spray it just real lightly with a little bit of water. And then we're going to take my chalk paste and we're just going to kind of do like a little watercolor effect back here. Patriotic watercolor effect, okay? The color I'm using right now is, you guys, I got dry paint, is, this is Candy Apple Red. And I am just going to take one of my paint brushes. And then the other color I'm using is Midnight, which was our color of the month. New Hampshire, welcome New Hampshire. I am in North Carolina, in case you guys are new here, and I just love coming on and crafting with you guys. So I love to see where everybody's from. That makes me so happy. Okay, so I'm using Candy Apple Red, and I'm using our color of the month, which is Midnight. So look at that color, guys. And then look at what I'm also using. This Cutie Pie from Place and Time. I feel like I got this at Joann's maybe. So those are the two main paste colors, and then we're going to use my Shimmer Frost for the words. So what I want to do right now is just kind of make my background the red and blue. So I am going to see, I might need to scoop some out. I am going to see, my red is getting thick, you guys. I probably need a new one, but guess what? I don't know if you guys saw it or not yet, but we have a new color coming out, a new red that's coming out called Cherry. And that's coming out July 11th in our new product launch. It's it's going to be an Envo color, brand new color. So I don't even think I'm going to buy a new one of this. I'm going to wait for the Cherry to come out and grab one of those. I don't use a red a ton. I mean, obviously I use it at Christmas, use it at Valentine's, and Patriotic. But I've had the same jar. I've never had to repurchase a jar, believe it or not, you guys. So we're just going to pull some of this out. I'm just loosening it up some because your chalk paste should be like the consistency of like yogurt or frosting, whichever one, or even like a whipped cream cheese. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water to it because it's kind of gotten thicker. The longer you have them, they will do that, especially if you don't use them a lot. So I'm just going to kind of throw some on here and we're just going to see what happens. I have no like plan for this, no like pre-plan. So make sure when you hop on that you say hello. I love when you guys join me. And I think I might need to wet it a little more. But you see how it is? I'm just taking this dry brush. I probably should have wet my brush. And we're just going to go and just kind of, I don't want it to be super dark, but I want it to be just red and blue in the background. And I'm not even going to go all the way to the edges, I don't think. I'm not, I'm just doing this very freestyle, not formed at all. I'm not concerned about trying to, you know, make it exactly 100% perfect or even what do you call it, symmetrical or anything. We're just going to see what happens. Okay, and we're probably even going to blend a little bit together because we're going to throw some blue on here and just see what happens, y'all. See what happens. Let me grab a little bit of my blue and we're going to put that on. And I did spray it with distilled water just in case, since if I was going to put the paintbrush in, I didn't want to get anything into my jar. So maybe I'll wet this first as well. Let me know how your Monday is gone, you guys. Let me know how it is. Like I said, didn't start off too well. I had a couple things. First thing this morning, I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Got a Monday. And I don't know about you guys, but I was really, really tired. I think the heat took it out of me yesterday being at the pool. I didn't even get in the water because it was so crowded, and just went up there to kind of watch my little buddy. And I think the heat took it out of me. I was so tired this morning. You see how I'm doing, you guys? I am not trying to do anything perfect. And we are even going to take, and just kind of blend them together close to the lines. You know, we just want to kind of see what happens and just kind of give it our own look here. Nothing too uniform. But here we go. That's all I got. Like I said, I'm not really going for anything super uniform. And I'm just going to take my baby wipe that I have here, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges and blend it a little bit more. Since I already I was thinking I was going to have more white showing, but since I don't, I'm just going to kind of blend a little bit with the baby wipe. And the baby wipe also kind of takes some off, which is nice. I didn't mean to go on the sides, but I'm just going to leave it that way. It almost takes some off too, so it's not quite so vibrant. So if you want to do that, just kind of cover it with a baby wipe, just like this. That way it kind of makes it a little more distressed. See what I got going on? I don't know, guys. I'm just winging it. I think I'm going to need another one. I'm going to need another one. Yo, I'm still warm in here. Now, I'm going to take my blow dryer, and we're going to speed up the process. Even though this is chalk paste turned into paint, it will dry pretty quickly. But I'm just going to speed it up a little bit on its own, just so that I can go ahead and do the next step. If you want to paint, if you use chalk paint, or if you use acrylic paint, you can use acrylic paint. You want to make sure it's dry all the way, okay? There we go, see? Now, you want to make sure it's dry all the way. And then I am going to actually take just a piece of paper. Did you guys know you could do this? Just take a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be sandpaper or a sanding block, but just a piece of paper. And I'm going to go over this and kind of like sand it a little bit again, just to smooth it out in case there's any clumps anywhere or just whatever. And then when you do that, it doesn't, you know, mark it up or anything. But I kind of want that little bit of a distressed look in the background. I'll probably get rid of that now too. All right, now I also need to, because I painted it, and I'm going to use one of my transfers, I need to put a layer of wax on it so that my transfer does not try to pull up any of the chalk paste onto the back of it. And it'll also help fill in a little bit of the, like, you know how, you know, canvas is textured, like I said before. So it'll also fill in a little bit of the grooves. So that's what I'm going to do, is just lightly apply some surface wax. This is from my shop, but you know, you can use any surface wax you have. Any craft store that you can buy crafts at usually has surface wax. And it doesn't take a lot. A little bit goes a long way. I know it looked like I went in that jar a lot of times, but I really wasn't pushing down at all. I was barely grabbing any, so it doesn't take much at all. Actually, I'm not using my little thing. And then once I have it applied, I'm going to make sure I buff it in. And that just needs to rub it in. Make sure you don't have any clumps again. And don't over wax it, because if you wax it too much, then your transfer won't want to stick either. So I've waxed this. I've used this several times. I don't have everything with me that I've done, but that was the last project I shared with you guys. Do you see that? Isn't that super cute? We just made a beach ball. Our transfers are reusable a dozen times or more, depending on how well you take care of it. So I just want to give you as many ideas as possible. And I just thought this one would be super fun, having some, I was really planning on doing it even less. I was thinking I would use a piece of watercolor paper, but I don't have one this big, or big enough for this. So I just decided to use a canvas. So that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to turn it towards me for a second, guys, so I can line it up. And what I was doing there is just fuzzing it, and that just means making it a little less sticky, because these are reusable. They're sticky, which is fabulous. I love that they're sticky, but they get a little less sticky every time, but I want it to be sticky, but not so sticky that I cannot, that I have a hard time pulling it off. So that's what I was doing, fuzzing it. And I love these new transfer designs because you can see through them. Now, what I like to do when you have a phrase, or if you have something like this where you have the words and I have a image as well, and I want to try to find where the middle is, I just take it and fold it over on itself and then make a little bit of a crease in it. That crease will come back out when you go to wash your transfer. So don't worry about that. But it gives you an idea of where your middle is, because sometimes it's hard to find that when you have words or even images. And I'm trying to make sure that my words stay on here well. Okay, so like I said, this was 8 by 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's my middle, and then slide it over a little bit to make sure I have my middle. And then I'll make sure I have it the same amount, but I have it straight. Ooh, that's really, that summertime word is like really at the edge, so I think I'm gonna have to scooch it over just a tiny bit. I want to make sure I can read all the word. If some of the E comes off, I think I'm all right, but I don't know if I would, I don't want any of the S to come off. So I'm just using this mat that I have underneath, guys, as a little kind of cheater, as a help, because I usually wing it. I think I hear some rumbling off in the distance. Is it stormy where you guys are? Let me know how your weather's been. What kind of temperatures have you had up in New Hampshire? I'm curious. Am I saying that right, Elaine? Elaine? What kind of temperatures have you had? I wondered. Okay, guys, because this is a canvas, it's a stretch canvas, and we have that big section. Look, that we want our surface to be as sturdy as possible. If I don't put something up under here, this is going to go in when I go to put my chalk on. So I like to take something like my fuzzing cloth and put it in the middle, try to get it in the middle, just to kind of give me a little bit more of a solid, I might have to do it this way, a little bit more of a solid surface. Just to kind of fill it in, okay? Make it a little more firm. There we go. That should work. And I'm just going to press really hard, and I'm going to grab one of my squeegees and just kind of go back over it. If you have questions about anything I'm using or any of the processes or any of the supplies, feel free to ask me in comments. That's what I'm here for. I love to be able to help you guys. I'm just pressing out any bubbles because I want to try to get as good a contact as possible. And I'm feeling, just by the way that it keeps moving, my transfer is moving around, I think I probably, you guys, could have, could have not fuzzed it and it would have been fine. All right, guys, we're just gonna try it. You see how it's coming off? I did wax it, so. We're gonna start from the middle and work back. Okay, so this is Shimmer Frost. This is my favorite. It's a white, obviously, but it's got shimmer in it because I love shimmer. And who doesn't want shimmer on 4th of July, right? All right, so here we go. You see how it keeps coming off? Probably didn't need to fuzz it. There we go. So I'm gonna start in the middle and work it out. Let's just see what happens. Worst case scenario, it's a $1.25 canvas. I can start over again. I know I have another one on hand, or I can grab one easily. All right, I'm gonna take my chalk paste right out of my jar and apply it. I'm just going in a downward motion from here just to make sure my transfer doesn't shift around. But you need something for it to like kind of go up against. That's why I was trying to find something under it, because you want that resistance, right? Because otherwise it's just going to go in and then you won't get as good an image. You still get something, you just don't get as good an image as you would. So, and with the shimmer, I do suggest you press a little firmer, just because it's kind of gritty, whatever they put in it to make it that wonderful shimmer. It's not like glitter, which is nice, but you get a nice shimmery look to whatever color it is that you're using. I hope you guys can see okay. Can you see okay? Look how that's showing up. I'd like to think that if we got a storm, it was going to help the situation, but I don't think it's supposed to get any cooler. So it's almost like, why? All right, guys, put that bottom one. Let's go ahead and get this one too. And also in my VIP group, I just shared on Friday night a sneak peek of the new product that's coming out in July, you guys. Oh my gosh, there are so many good things. So it's fall, and it's Halloween, and it's some Christmas, and it's some new evergreen, it's new colors, new surfaces. I shared all of that in my VIP group. If you want to join, type VIP in comments if you're not a member, and I'll be glad to send you that link. All right, guys, we've got that little part done. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up and just see what it's looking like. See how we have that so far? Let's just see, make sure I'm getting good results. Look. Isn't that cute? Look at that. All right, perfect. Okay, so that's called paste and peel. I did that part, lifted it up, laid it back down. I'm not gonna press it down, but I laid it down so that the paste does not dry in the silk screen. It dries in the, instead it dries on the, it releases it to the surface. Now I'm gonna try to buckle this back up a little bit more and see if we get a little bit. I feel like it did okay on there, so shouldn't worry too much, but. Isn't this a fun design? And you guys, I don't know if you grabbed one of those or not, but I grabbed one of those bicycles from the Bullseye's Playground or Target Dollar Spot, whatever you want to call it. Like last month, I know it was in May. I know it was in May. Can you guys believe that we are to the end of June? Where did it go? It just flew by for me. I don't know about you guys. But I grabbed one of those little cute little like patriotic looking bicycles, and I haven't used it yet, but I have that, and I have a couple other things I grabbed from there that are going to be perfect for my tiered tray, and I cannot wait. Okay, listen, now we're going to pull back the summertime. Isn't that looking great, you guys? What do you think? Hit that heart button if you like this. If you like it, let me know. I think it's turning out good. So I think that's why I kept the bicycle in there, is because I can kind of have it coordinate with that, right? So now for this part, you guys, I'm gonna actually, let me press this down because I'm gonna actually work outwards, because the transfer design, as you can see, it's almost got like that sunburst, and it's not gonna get all of the sunburst on every one, I don't think, because of the design's bigger than the surface I'm using, but I want to get as much as I can, so I'm just going to kind of work outwards. But we also, you guys, I did a, if you don't like and follow my page already, if you would do that, that would just be fabulous. And go back on the page and look, and you'll see the new offerings that they are giving. They're going to start for the club. They have given me the ability to really spoil my club members, and that's getting ready to start in August. Actually, I think some of the club members are going to get the benefit from that in July. But go check it out, because I did a post telling, I think it was 7 or 8 items that they have added as perks for being a club member. So it's my DIY subscription club, and I would love to have you guys in that. The more people I get, once I reach a certain number, I am going to do a monthly club, virtual club project together, like choose a night and say, okay guys, you know, get your supplies together, pick out your surface that you want to do. We're going to go on a live in the VIP group and do the project together as a group, like a crafting night. I would love to do that with you guys, and the only way you'll be able to get the transfer is if you are a designer. And you can't be in my VIP group if you're a designer, but if you're a designer or if you are a club member, then we'll be able to do that crafting night together. And if it gets big enough, I may even do it instead of just on the live. We may do it like on a Zoom or in a Google Meets or something, just so we can kind of interact together. And it would just be so fun to have people from all walks and all different locations crafting together. Wouldn't that be fun, you guys? I think that would be so awesome. So I would love to do that. So if you're not in my club, you might want to check it out. Oh, but that's my son home. Who needs a security system when you got a dog, right? I got a built-in alarm. Okay, so let's see if I did okay on this. I'm going to pull it back slowly in case I missed anything. And if I did, I can lay it back down and add some more to it. There we go. Okay, so that is what I will wash that in my sink with my with just cool water and one of my board erasers, you guys. I always put my extra ink right back, not ink, sorry, I'm working with chalk tonight. My extra chalk right back in my jar. the squeegees, the paintbrush, the transfer is all water soluble, and I just use a board eraser and cool running water and clean it and wash it, dry it, put it back on the backer sheet, and it's ready to use again. So if I come up with another great idea between now and the 30th, is that Friday? The 30th, then I can share it with you guys. What do you think? Patriotic, right? What do you think? Isn't that cute? I love it. Even if you don't consider it patriotic, maybe you live somewhere where you don't celebrate July 4th, or it's or red, white, and blue. It's still a fun project to create with. If you like these kind of colors, I still think it's very festive for summer. Isn't that cool? I hope you guys like that idea. Let me know if you like it in comments. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I wanted it to have a little something extra. I mean, that is super cute, right? Just on its own. You could put this, lean it on an easel, or you could attach a hanger to it, create your own hanger, or even if you wanted to use those Velcro or the command strips, you could hang it up. But I wanted to add another little bit of extra fun to it. So I am just going to take a little bit of this ribbon, and what I'm actually going to do, let me see, let me get my scissors. We're just gonna play with it. Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate that. We are just going to, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but this is wired ribbon, which is always nice. But isn't that a fun little print? And look, it has a little tiny bit of shimmer. I see a sparkle here or there. I am actually going to take this and I am going to cut it into, I might cut it in thirds, you guys. I was trying to decide if I was going to add another one in with it, because I have all these cute 4th of July colors, patriotic colors, whether I was going to add any more in it. And just do kind of a little messy bow. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to cut it into thirds, even though it's wired. Let me think. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut it into thirds, because I want it thinner, but I really like this little print, this little pattern for this. So I'm just going to cut it. I could have just taken some of I have some like bandanas that I've gotten from the Dollar Tree and some fabric squares. I could have just cut some of those and made them into kind of like a rag ribbon, but I'm just going to cut this one because I like this little print. I just wanted a couple little strips. And then what you can do is you can make some small, I'm trying to think how I want to do it. If I want to do a couple little, let me think. I want to also put a, all right, let me set these aside for a second because I want to think about it. I also have some twine. This is just white twine. It's actually kind of slick. And I have these cute beads, and I was thinking it might be fun. I don't know if I want that one. To hang a couple of these beads from, from the middle of this. I can put some tape on the end of this just to kind of make it easy to feed through. I got these beads a couple years ago from Amazon, I believe it was. And I mean, I've had them for a couple of summers, so I'm pretty sure I got it like 2 summers ago. So I just do a little bit of Scotch tape on the end to kind of make it almost like a little needle. Okay. You guys, make sure you sprinkle the video. If you sprinkle it, let me know in comments that you sprinkled it. And you can be entered into Happy Meal. I might even use this as a giveaway. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about using this as a giveaway. All right, guys, let me get this in here. Oh, I need it a little bit more sharp. It's not feeding all the way through. I'm thinking about using this on the middle part of our bow. So stars and stripes. And then the flag, right? I think that's what we'll do. We're just going to do 3. I usually work in odd numbers. So this is what I'm thinking. We're going to have a little tassel, like it hanging a little bit too. Okay, it's going to hang a little bit, but I'm also going to use it to tie around it. So I'm going to kind of tie a knot right here to make it so my beads don't slide around too much, and leave a little extra at the end so I have something to tie around my ribbon that I'm going to make into some kind of messy bow or something. I haven't decided what. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. This side. And hopefully my chalk paste will be dry by the time I get ready to attach it. If not, I'll just speed it up with my little dryer. Okay, get that. Are you guys challenged like me when it comes to this? It's like, oh, I need to move it down. Which way do I need to move it? How do I need to do that? Let's see. Miss crafting with you guys. Love learning about all the things, but I love creating. I love coming on here and creating with you guys even more. Oh, get down there. Get down there. Double knot. I need a double knot. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I've got it in there, and now I have a little bit left, and then I'll just let that be able to hang once I get it in there. How do you sprinkle? That just means to S-H-A-R-E. So the share button, the little arrow on the bottom of the, you'll see it down near the comments. There's a little button where you have an arrow, and you can sprinkle it out. And that just means to tag a friend, share it to a friend, or to share it to a group, or someone that you think might be interested in seeing a video like this. I'm gonna have it. I'm going to cut a little bit down here because this will fray, so I can kind of undo it and almost makes it look like a little bit of a tassel. See how that is? I don't mind it this time. Most of the time I don't like it when it does that, but I think that this time it will work. All right, so we're just gonna do it this way, you guys. I think I'm just gonna do it this way. I think. I was trying to decide because that's way too big, right? So do I do maybe I do. Oh gosh, I'm trying to decide because you can take an awareness ribbon and make it into a bow. I could do 3 of those together. I could do 3 of those. Let me see if I can do it that way. So I'm just kind of like, almost like crisscrossing them. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Look, I am not like the bow queen. I am not super duper at teaching bows. I'm just going to kind of do this. We're just going to kind of wing it. I am going to take all 3 of them. I'm just kind of folding it over. I'm taking the, almost like an awareness, and then pushing it down in the middle, and then holding it together. Okay. And then kind of putting them, actually I want to turn it around this way, I think, like together like this. And then I'm going to tie it together, and then I'm going to move them around a little bit. Does that make sense, you guys? Like mud, too. It's just like mud. Perfect sense. All right, so I'm going to take my little thing I made here and try to tighten a knot. You could use something else like a twisty tie or a zip tie to kind of secure it first and then add this, but I'm going to see if I can do it without doing that. Once I get it tied, then, oh, wait a minute, that needs to go through. Once I get it tied tight and can put it in a knot, where are you? Then I can manipulate the bow a little bit better. We're going to see. Because I prefer to do like messy bows. I don't know if you guys know what that is. I prefer those actually. But, and I probably, so I just tied it like in a big knot. And all my 3 little guys are here. And then we're going to kind of just kind of manipulate it a little bit. And I'm going to cut that little end off that I had the tape on. And I probably should have my glue gun. Guys, my back. I don't know what I've done. Hopefully I have enough battery in my glue gun. So now, this is what we've got so far. So we have a little bit of a dangle there and our bow. I'm going to cut the ends. I'm going to, what do you call it? Dovetail the ends, okay? Just cut those to make them look a little more complete. Then I'm going to play around with my bows and try to get them. Ooh, hear the wind picking up. I don't know if you guys can hear my wind chimes outside. Hear the wind picking up. And then just kind of play with it. Get your bows where you want them to be. Two of the bows that are in here are wired. Have the wire since I cut it into thirds. If you had a thinner ribbon, just use a thinner ribbon, or if you had some fabric. Oh, that didn't do anything. I cut it and it didn't dovetail it. Let me try that again. Sorry, guys. Just a little something for some fun. A little bit extra element. I used to do a giveaway every single month, and I had gotten out of it this year, and I think I'm going to start doing it again. So that's what I do for sprinkling. It's just my little way of saying thank you for sharing my love of creating with others. My desire is to get on here and to inspire you or encourage you or just entertain you. Just something to show you about creating. Maybe I give you an idea. Yeah, this bow is like crazy. It's not like perfect, but it'll be fun. It'll be cute. It'll be cute. So here we go. And my glue gun's almost ready. It's just a little bit of element of fun. I feel like the more you can add to your projects, the more interesting they are. I think I got all of them. Did I get them all? I don't know if I got that. If I did a very poor job of that. You could even, if you wanted, cut those loops and make them into the same kind of thing, just so it really truly was just like a I'm getting a little messy bow. Is that cute? Okay. And then we're just gonna stick that, let's see. I think that's about dry. We're just gonna stick that up here. Let me see if my glue gun's almost ready. We're just gonna stick it right up here and see how we like that. Just a little fun element of unexpectedness. Let's see if we got any glue coming out yet. Let's see if it's warm enough. I'll stick that right up here. My thing here first. And there we go, you guys. You can play with your bow. I might trim that one down a little bit, or maybe I'll just curl it around the back. But there you go. That's my project idea for tonight. I hope you guys like this. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in comments. Hope you'll come back and follow me again next time and join me for the next time we do a live project together. I really want to get some good patriotic projects with you this week. But stay tuned. And I hope until I see you guys next time, you'll be safe, you'll be healthy, and you'll be blessed. All right. Thanks, Elaine. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys. Bye.